Hi everyone, thank you for popping in to check out what the Practicum unit looks like. The Practicum unit will be split into two parts, part 1 and part 2. Each will consist of about 10 weeks or 10 lessons each. They will be posted up weekly. Along with that, there'll be articles related to the topic, maybe podcasts to listen to, maybe other videos to listen to, personal reflections to hand in, and group discussions. Because when we start a Practicum 1 anyway, we start as a group so that you can all learn off each other and encourage and support each other as you have group discussions online. Each Practicum will also require a video to be submitted of a snippet of a counselling session, whether that's just with a friend or just basically an example showing that you're using the skills that you've learned. So Practicum 1 will be very much about the soft skills, what actually the grassroots of counselling, what happens in the room, the interactions between the counsellor, counsellee, very much about who you are as a person, as a counsellor, why you're counselling. Power dynamics, projection, transference, all that sort of thing that you've no doubt heard about. So be willing to be challenged and be willing to be changed and be willing to grow through this experience. When I was doing my training, it absolutely grew me, and I'll explain more about that later. So part 1's really more about the soft skills of counselling, whereas Practicum 2 will be more about the process and the management of counselling with the use of PDIs and all that sort of thing, so more technical. And both parts will be required to get accredited with GCI, so Practicum 1 and Practicum 2. So my role with GCI is really to help you to put feet to what you're learning. So Daryl's teaching all the theology and the helicopter view, all the big content of counselling, whereas I'm just more dealing with the grassroots and the minute-by-minute processes, the soft skills of counselling. So my role with GCI is to help you do that, to offer supervision to you, resources, encouragement, and to also help through this series. So a bit of background about me. We've been Christians for 30 years. Ever since I became a Christian, I just loved theology. So I've done a couple of Bible diplomas. And apart from the love of theology, I've also loved the application of theology. So I've always been involved in discipleship and counselling. I've done a few biblical counselling certificates over the years. Then about 2 incidences happened about 6 years ago, and it made me realise that I needed more skills. And so I decided I'd go to a Christian college here in New Zealand and learn how to be a Christian counsellor. Wasn't quite what I thought, but I learned excellent skills. The college I went to is well known within the industry of professional Christian counsellors as producing excellent and very proficient counsellors who are known to be very safe. And it's because they are rigorous, they are very tough, and it's a very high standard. And I rocked along to this Christian college thinking, well, I know my theology, I've been doing this for years, I don't have much to learn. Wrong. I will say that the 4 years I was there, that the Lord pretty well broke me. Someone once said to me, you don't know what you don't know. And that happened. I didn't know how much there was to learn about counselling. And so, it was a very, very tough time. I had to look at a lot of things about myself. I was highly changed, highly humbled, and as I said, broken. So what I would like, and while I was at this Christian college, they said how a lot of biblical counselling is viewed as spiritually abusive, and that absolutely shocked me. But the more I learned, the more I realised, wow, probably a lot of my approaches had been pretty spiritually abusive. And so I think this is what's given biblical counselling a bad name in New Zealand, and perhaps why Christian counselling arose to almost combat what was happening with biblical counselling. So we have lost ground now, that Christian counselling has taken the space that biblical counselling used to take. So this is a challenge for GCI as we try and reach into churches to try and support what we're doing. So it is a challenge. But I am very grateful that God is obviously going to use what I learned right back then, and even though it was a painful experience, He's used it redemptively in my life, and for it now to be used in a very positive way, God willing. And because it's, I'm passionate about biblical counselling, but I also see where it's been done very poorly in the past. So my passion is to help each one of us to be safe counsellors. So what else do I have to say to you? So I finished my 4 years or so at that college, and then I, a few years ago, enrolled in a Masters of Biblical Counselling, which I'm doing through a theological seminary in America. That will take me some years to finish. So, well, I hope that's answered a few questions about about the Practicum. And I really hope you'll want to start when we next start our class in a few weeks. And if you have any questions, let me know. I look forward to hearing from you. Thanks very much.